Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and I'm very excited to introduce you to a new line of products, and these are Vintaj Patinas, and they come in sets of 3 like this. And I've pulled several different sets to show you the color range. We've got these wonderful pale pink and purple. We've got the nice brown earth tones. I have a cream yellow black set. I've got purples and blues, which are a little bit richer in tone, and then I've got some great green with a turquoise. So you do get 3 in a set, which makes it really nice to blend these. And then another product you're going to want to consider using when you do use the patinas is a glaze, and this is put out by Vintaj as well. It works as a sealer as well as a patina extender, and I'm going to show you in this video just how to use it. You're going to maybe want to use a Vintaj relief block, not necessary, but you'll see a little trick on how it'll make your designs pop. You're going to need a paintbrush, some water, a paper towel, and then I'm also working on a non-stick craft mat. This is actually a soldering mat, but it works really well for this application as well. So what's so great about these patinas is they are permanent and they were specially formulated for metal. So you do not actually need to use a sealer to seal the patina unless you want to go ahead and relief the surface a little bit, which I'm going to show you how to do. So let's get started right away so you can see how fun these are. I did a couple already. Here's this great beetle, and what I used on this guy was black and green, and then I did a wash of turquoise, and then I reliefed it with the relief block. So I want to show you that exact same process, but on this key. So I'm going to grab my colors. I'm going to grab olive green, black, and then also the turquoise. So first off, what you'll want to do is you'll want to shake these up, and you'll hear a ball. So you want to shake them up really well. And they are super fast drying, so I'm going to pour a little bit out onto my nonstick mat. I'm going to take my paintbrush, and I'm not going to paint, but I'm going to dab. And I'm doing that so I can get into all the nooks and crannies of these wonderful vintage metal pieces. I'm also using a flat tip brush, and that's also helping me to get into all the little recesses and cover a lot of territory. When you're done, go ahead and immediately wash your paintbrush off with water. There we go. And this is going to dry very quickly. So what I want to do right now, so I'm going to go add some green to it while it's still a little bit wet. You can lightly touch it and you'll see that not a lot comes off, so it is drying pretty quick. So I'm just going to put green sporadically and let it mix a little bit with the black. Okay, again, wash my paintbrush off right away. I'm going to let that dry. It's only going to take 2 to 3 minutes to dry. And then I'm going to go over the top with a turquoise wash. Now that my first coat is dry, I want to apply a wash over the entire surface. So I'm going to go ahead, put a little bit of paint on my mat. And now I'm going to take the glaze, and you're going to want to do 1 part patina to 2 to 3, maybe even 4 parts of glaze, depending upon how thin you want it. Just like that. Mix it up. You're not going to want to use water to create a washed effect, but you're going to want to make sure you use the glaze. So now I'm just going to paint this over the entire surface. You can see that actually it wasn't as dry as it probably should have been because a little bit of color is coming off. That's going to be okay for this application because it's not a precise science. I just want a nice overall color effect. So there we go. Again, wash off your paintbrush right away. While this one is drying, I'm going to show you another technique. I'm going to take this piece of vintage art metal. I'm going to choose different colors. I think I'm going to go for a cream and maybe even a pink. I'm going to do an all over base color in cream. Again, just dabbing. Okay, and on this piece, I want to create a bit more of a mottled effect. So I'm going to put down my paintbrush. I'm going to go ahead, take a little bit of paper towel, and just go over the area that I painted. And you're going to pull off some of that paint. Now I want to add a little pink. Go in different spots. Add it, put down the paintbrush again, and dab with my paper towel. It does dry really quick, so you just want to be aware of that. I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush. I'm going to go for a really colorful look and add some purple. Again, go with my paper towel, blot it. Give me that really nice mottled look. So I'm going to set that one aside to dry, clean off my paintbrush. While those two are drying, before I use the Vintaj relief block on them, I want to show you one more example. I've got this Vintaj stamping blank, which I've used an embossing plate on, and the Vintaj Big Kick to create the design. Now I'm going to go ahead and dab black paint on the entire surface of the butterfly. Wash out my paintbrush. I'm going to let the black coat dry for a minute, and then I'm going to go over and do a wash on top of him as well. Now I want to put a wash on the butterfly, so I'm going to take my pink, and again I'm going to extend it with the glaze. Mix that up, and just paint an overall wash. And I'm just letting the paint settle into the recessed area. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to come back and use the Vintaj relief block to bring out some of those raised areas. Now that my patinas are completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and take the rough side of my Vintaj relief block, and I'm going to go over the top surface and expose some of the metal below. So this was an art metal piece, so it's exposing some of that nice silver color. If you've worked with art metal, you know that the main color is a black, but when you use a relief block, it pulls out a really wonderful, rich silver. So there's that piece. Here's one that I've already done. The key, I actually love how it looks. I'm not going to use a relief block on it. I think it's perfect the way it is. And then I've got my butterfly, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm just going to relief the surface. You can see I'm pulling out some of that brass below. It's getting a really interesting effect, and I'm happy with how that looks. So now for sealing. This piece here doesn't need to be sealed at all. It's just got the patina on it, and that's permanent. It doesn't need to be sealed. That's the same with this piece right here that I did. It just had like a mottled effect that I did with the paper towel. Now, technically, these guys do not need to be sealed either. They have the patina on them and they're good to go. However, if you want to keep it looking identical to this, meaning that exposed area, the color that it is, where I pulled out the brass and I pulled out the art metal silver, then you're going to want to go ahead and seal it. Paint a layer over the entire top surface. Again, you might want to do some dabbing just because it'll get into all those nooks and crannies. You don't have to do this. If you're okay with that color changing ever so slightly as it ages, which it will naturally do, then you don't need to. But if you want to keep that silver really silver, you're going to want to go ahead and just seal it with a glaze. And there we go. And that is all there is to using Vintaj Patinas and Glaze.